Hi everyone, sorry it's taken me so long to do my next little video, but as you probably noticed on Facebook over the last couple of days I've been busy trying to get me coaching website sorted and another Facebook page because I've got to do all that professional malarkey. Don't suit me, does it? I get a lot of questions throughout the year about people that they're struggling with, like, rigs. What rigs do I use? How do I shot a hit? What shot would I use? Do I use stops? Do I do shot? You know, how do you tie it? So I thought, do a little video on my rigs, what I use, this is it, all that I've got in front of me. So I'm going to make two little videos for you. The first one is carp rigs, and then I'll do another one on F1 rigs. The reason I've got to do two is because I just shot it and I gassed on too long and the camera ran out, so I'll have to do it in 2 hits for you because I like a bit of gassing about fishing me. So to start off with, talking about my carp rigs, this side is what I use for F1s, and I'll talk more about that in the next video. These are the ones that I use for carp fishing, so I've got 2 dobbing rigs, 2 like 0.3s, 2.4s, just for me swinging, and they're tied to 020 main line. These are for proper carp fishing down the edge, they're again tied to 020 main line. Then everything this side is tied to 017. These are the ones that I use for F1s. Again, I'll talk about that in the next video, but in this video, the carp ones, I use Melman Youths and then RW Muddy's float. I got put onto this float earlier on in the year by a lad that's Bob Ope at F1 Fishing. You might have heard of him, Andy Bennett his name is. No, in all seriousness, you know, I went up and watched him and he used these floats, and straight away I could see I need some of them bad boys. So for me carp fishing, so for me use I use like a 4B10 to a 4B8 in shallow water, and when I'm fishing shallow for carp, because they got a nice thick tip, and a lot of the time it's with 8mm pellets, so you need a proper thick tip. And I'll talk about tip size as well, because I think that's something that people get like misinformed about. You've got to fish all delicate and, you know, stupid wire and all that, and there's nothing worse than having something you can't see. I can see these. This is another thing I want to talk about. Just because this is what I use, everyone's got their own favourites of what they can use. And when you look at the topper lads, if you know what I mean, they stick to what they use because, and the simple rule is, they can see it. And that's all that matters. It doesn't matter who it's made by, who uses it. If you can ship out and see it, then that's all that matters. Who makes it is irrelevant. You know, don't look at it and read an article and think, oh, so and so uses these floats. You know, stick to what you like using. That's what I'm trying to stress. I'm just telling you what I use, and the reason I use it is because they got the right bristle, they take the right amount of shot, you can't break them as such, you know, they're indestructible as indestructible can be, and the top and bottom of it is I can see it, and that's what matters. So that's me carp shallow water fishing sort of rigs. And then my deeper water rigs, I just use a Melman Rube, which is made by Gazza. It's just a basic float, wire stem, 2mm bristle, I can see it, and it takes shot. I've got to have a float that takes shot. I don't want a float that takes 3 number 13 shot, that's no use to me whatsoever. So just quickly talking about these rigs, there's 4B12, he makes one for me which is called a 4B13, I'll talk about that in a sec, 4B14, 4B16, 4B18, and then also some basically youths that have got a longer stem and a bit of a longer bristle, so when I'm fishing deep down the edge, you know, in like 18 inches of water, the shorter float is brilliant, but when you're fishing in sort of 3-4 foot of water, you almost want a float that's half in between, you know, a long float, you know, one of these ones, a Rube, and a U float, if you know what I mean. So that one's like in the middle, so when I'm fishing deep down the edge, I can use that. These ones all take the right shot what I like, so a 4B12 is 7 number 11 shot, a 4B13 takes 7 number 10 shot, 4B14 7 number 9s, 4B16, which is me 99% of the float I use, takes 7 number 8 shot, and then a 4B18 takes sort of 10 to 11 number 8 shot. So talking about my carp rigs first, one thing I don't know if you can see on there, but not one of them has got a shot on it, nor has any of my carp shallow rigs, because you don't need to. The longer you have shot on it and it gets wet, it oxidises, and this bit becomes a chore to make up a rig, put all the shot on it, and you might not want the shot where you put it on at home. So I'll talk you through like how I tie my rig up and then what I do on the bank. So I'll pop that one down quickly. So after my match on Saturday, I've been, you know, had a carp rig, I come home, and what I do is I just bite the float off. So I've got sort of 8-10 inches of line, 12 inches of line above it and a little bit below it. And then when I get home, all I've got to do is retie that. So for my carp rigs, I just use 017 N-gauge, that's the line that I use. But again, you know, that's what I use. You use whatever you feels right for you. So that's 015. So I get my 017 and get my weight, which I've always had, stole. So I get my float, and I know a lot of people, you know, they take the line off and then put the float on, put all the rubbers and do it, but I've got a quick and easy, simple way of doing it. So I get my main line, obviously I'm going to make my new rig on, get my line from above my float, put them together so they're joined, do a simple overhand knot and just hold it tight just for a couple of seconds, just so that knot ain't going to slip. And then what you do is you bite this bit of line, obviously wet it first, so you bite this bit of line and then hold each rubber and just feel the knot come back through. So here's the test, let's see if it works. So it's gone through the first one. Let's move it a bit closer. Slide it on, slide it up, and that's it. Floats on a new bit of line. So one thing I will say with a loop tyre, again we're always changing, things change, so you change with it. I used to do a figure of 8 knot and do it twice with a loop tyre, but I've just found that since I've done it once, I think there's more benefits. There's less of a knot, so it's always going to constrict better, and it looks right, you know, there's less knot there, and anything that you can make it so there's less of it, I think is a bonus. One less thing to go wrong. So I just get me, form a loop. Everyone has got their own ways about how they tie loops, but this is how I do it. I've done it like this for a long time, it's never let me down, so this is how I do it. So I make a loop, make another loop, and then pinch them together. And then my loops are round the outside, turn it once, in the inside, pull it down, give it a wet, fold it over, and just look at your knot, you know, make sure that it's knotted right, because if it hasn't knotted right, you know, just slide the float up and do another knot. So, but that's knotted right, but what I'll do is, you know, just to show you again, slide the float up, so make a loop, twist it, get your loop tyre once, put it in, wet it, pull it out, pull it tight, and scissors, trim it off. So there's my loop, formed lovely jubbly. So what I need now is a staple. I like using staples. I stole this off There's Marked a little while ago, well a long time ago, I ain't that young anymore. It just helps keep your loops, you know, nice and straight, instead of like if you loop it over the top bit it can kink and sit at a funny angle. So just put it in my hook, you know, the bit that you put your hook in, and then move my float to where I want it, about there, and then with a pink winder I normally do about 8 turns, which I find's more than enough for a 4B, up to like a 4B16 float. Right, I think that's about 8. So I'll just offer it up so it's just short of the peg, and then just tie another figure of 8 knot with my fingers. Again, that's the one that's going to be shortened, so. But also you want it a bit bigger to, you know, slide over the end. Trim him off, loop him up, and that's it. a carp rig done. So talking quickly about shotting. So I just said to you, like, I know off by heart, these are the only floats that I use, I know what shot they take. So I get to the bank, and you roughly know what sort of depth you're going to be faced with. But 99 times out of 100 I use a 4x16, and the reason I use that is because it takes the right amount of shot, so it's always going to sit there. I like having a float with shot on it. Some people like fishing, you know, strung out and laying it in. That ain't really for me, to be honest. I like fishing with a bulk and a dropper, just something where I can put my float in, feed my bait, hold my float over the bait regardless of the wind or the tow. You know, it's very stable. So that's the float that I like using for most of the time. So I plumb up and I'm happy with it. I shorten the line and think, right, yeah, that's nice. So now I've got to put the shot on it. So as a rule, what I would do is, like, just below the bottom third of the rig, so I would offer it up, look at where the float is and think, right, well, that's roughly about half. You know, that's sort of where I want it. And after a while you just get used to it, like looking and thinking, well, that's where I want the bulk. So where you think, you know, and again, just as a rule, just below the bottom third of the rig, I make my bulk, which takes 6 number 8 shot, and then halfway between my bulk and my hook, I have 1 number 8 dropper, and that's it, done. It is that simple, you know. Fishing is as easy or as hard as you want to make it, and it's just about getting on with it. That's the biggest thing. It's just about feeding some bait, hooking a fish, putting it in the net, starting again. And you don't want to be, like for me, I don't want to spend half of my match like holding my float and laying my rigging, because it's just, it ain't like that. You just want to go out, feed some bait, drop it in, you know, because sometimes you might have to wait like 3 or 4 minutes for a bite. So I want to know that when a fish comes in and's eating on my bait, that I'm holding my float on that bait that I fed. I don't want it to be over here and I can't control it and I can't see the thing because they're broken line. And I'd always rather have a thicker tip that takes shots. So I know that I could put some number sort of 12 half styles and shot it right down. I'm not a big fan with Vaseline and things like that, because it moves, it can change, you know, it's a variable that you've put on it, so you're never in control of it. Whereas if you put shot on it, it either sinks it, you know, you can shot it down, if you know what I mean, and you can take shot off. So if the float takes on a little bit of water, or you know, you're struggling to see it, you can take one tiny little shot off, like a 13 or a 12 stop, which easily ping off. But what I mean is you're always in control of what you're seeing, you know, you're not leaving it to chance. So that's carp fishing basically. It is that simple, you know. And when you come home, and I'm a busy lad as well, so trying to find time and fitting it all in. So, you know, you come home from work on a Friday night, got to keep the boss happy, you know, you might have had to take her out for tea, and then you put the kids to bed. You haven't got long, you know, to be able to, you know, get your stuff ready for the following day. So just trying to keep it as simple as possible doing this bit, you're more inclined to do it, and it's more enjoyable as well. And that's the thing, when you enjoy doing it, I do like doing this, I am sad, I do like doing this. But, you know, if you have got a limited amount of time, just trying to make yourself as efficient as possible when you're doing it, you're going to be more inclined to doing it. So that's my carp fishing side of it. I've explained like in a basic sort of way, but that's what it is basic and it is simple. A long time ago when I first started, you know, I've looked through some of the features and stuff that I've done a long time ago. Like the stack system this big, I didn't know whether I was coming or going, and some of them rigs I might not have used for a long time. So by doing it like this, the nice thing about it as well is you always get a fresh supply of rigs, and if you change something you don't like anymore, or new floats come out or better line, you know, you haven't got to look at it and think, well, I can't change, it's going to take me 18 years to be able to change it all. So again, just by keeping it simple and stuff. But yeah, basically that's my carp fishing. So I'll do my next one on my F1 rigs, and yeah, please take a look.